A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome everybody to week 10-11 Monday's class. I hope that you are all well and jazakumullah for arriving on time. Okay, now let's go through about our etiquettes. You should be thinking that we are in a mosque, so you should be making sure that you have done your wuzu. You should be wearing clean clothing, and your head should be covered with a hat or a dupatta, a scarf, and we would really like it if a parent could be present. And I hope that you are all sitting in a area with no background noise. Okay, so let's start our class with our Monday's dua. And if I could have a student to the mic, please.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. The mic is with G1041.
G1041. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well and jazakumullah for asking. So let's start with Ta'awuz and Tasmiyah.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
Very nice. So I will read and you can follow me. Rabbish
Rabbish
Rahli
rahli
Qadri
sadri
Wayassir
yassir
Li
li
Amri. Very nice. Would you mind reading the translation just below this?
Yes. Oh Lord, expand my mind and make my task easy for me. Taha 26-27.
Very nicely read. Do you know what this means, Taha 26 to 27?
It's the chapter of the Holy Quran.
Very nice. It's one of the chapters of the Holy Quran, and we have 114 chapters in the Holy Quran. And this dua here, it's found in chapter Taha, and the verse is 26 to 27. Very nicely read, G1041. Jazakumullah. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, so let me just tell you what we will be doing today. Today I will be going with you through this lesson. It's called the blank wow, and then we will be reading Surah Al-Alaq, and you have had to go with this with Surah Al-Alaq last week as well, and we will be doing that again. You have had blank alif. Now we are going to do blank wow. It says about the blank wow, sometimes wow appears among letters without any mark and will not be pronounced. Let me show you. Just here, there is a blank wow. Let me just quickly highlight it for you. This is a blank wow, and it will not be read because it does not have any strokes, no fatha kasra zaman, no sukoon sign, and no shadda, anything. It does not have anything, so we just ignore this. Okay, so let me just quickly read this out for you. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. As-salatu. As-salatu. Okay, so just below here, the same word is written without the vowel, and it is read exactly the same way as this word is. So just ignoring the vowel and reading on to the next letter. Okay, and similarly here, there is a blank vowel. So in this exercise, all the blank vowels, they're colored red. Okay, so I would like to have a student, so we can read this line.
Yes, can I please remind all the students to use their correct GIDs, otherwise they'll be placed in the waiting room. Jazakumullah. G1058 has the mic.
Assalamu alaikum G1058.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. I'm very well and Jazakumullah for asking. Let's start with Ta'awuz and Tasmiyah.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
Very nice. So let me just ask you, do you know about the blank wow? I just explained it to you. Have you understood about it?
Yes.
So what would we do if we see a blank wow?
You wouldn't read it.
Exactly. Well done. So I will read out this word and then you can follow me, okay?
Okay.
As-salatu.
As-salatu.
Very nice. And just down here, it's the same word without the blank vowel, and it's read exactly the same. As-salatu.
As-salatu.
Very nice. And this word has this letter. Could you tell me something about this letter here? How is it read?
It has.
It's a thick letter. So when you read it, you round your mouth a bit. Okay. So this is one of the thick letters. Sword is one of the thick letters. Okay. Let's carry on to the next word. Here we have the blank vowel just here. Okay. And it's also colored in red. Now the word below here is exactly the same, just it does not have the blank vowel. Here we would just not read it. We would just ignore it. Okay. Az-zakatu.
Az-zakatu.
Okay. And similarly here we have az-zakatu.
Az-zakatu.
Very nice. Okay. Now moving on to the next word. Here again we have the blank vowel here. And it will again not be read. Al-hayatu.
Al-hayatu.
And again, below here, just underneath this word, it's the same word is written, just not with the vowel, without the vowel, and it's read exactly the same. Al-hayatu.
Al-hayatu.
Very nice. And here we have the ha, which is read from the middle of the throat. Okay, ha. And we have the ta al-marbuta, which is a ha with 2 dots, and it will be read exactly the same as the ta. Okay. Moving on to the next word. Here we have the blank vowel here, just here, and it is read kamishkatin.
Kamishkatin.
Very nice. And just below here we have exactly the same word, but not without we have it without the vowel. It's read exactly the same as this word here. Kamishkatin.
Kamishkatin.
Very nice. Now here, this word appears a lot in the Holy Quran, and the blank vowel, let me just get, and I will highlight this. The blank vowel is this one, okay? And we will just not read it. After the alif, we will just carry on to the lam, okay? Ulaika.
Ulaika.
Very nice. And here we have the same word without the vowel, the blank vowel, and it is read exactly the same. Ulaika.
Ulaika.
Very nice. Very nicely read, G1058. Jazakumullah and Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, and we have just this line left, and if I could have one student for this row here.
G1059 has the mic.
Assalamu alaikum, G1059.
Walaikum salam.
How are you today?
Good.
Alhamdulillah. All right. Do you know about the blank vowel?
Yes.
What do we do if we see the blank vowel?
You don't read it.
Exactly. Very nice. Okay, let me read out this word and then you can follow me. Okay. We have the blank vowel here. Okay. And as you said, we will just not read it. We'll just carry on reading the next word. Okay. Let's start with Ta'uz and Tasmiya first.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
Very nice. Okay. Ulil babi.
Lil babi.
Ulil babi.
Ulil babi.
Very nice. So I did not read the vowel because there was no stroke on it. Okay. Let's carry on to the next word here. Here we have the blank vowel again. Okay. And again, we will just ignore it. And it will be read. Ulu baqiyatin.
Ulu baqiyatin.
Very nice. There's no harm in splitting the word. Let's read this bit first. Ulu
Ulu
baqiyatin.
baqiyatin.
Very nicely read. Remember, this letter here is a thick letter. Do you know what thick letters are?
Yes.
So this letter will be read from your throat, from the middle of your throat, and you have to round your mouth a bit. It is a bit tricky when you read it with a kasra, but try to round your mouth still, okay? Baqiyatin.
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 Remember, this is a kasra. Qi.
Qi.
Very nice. Okay, let's move on to the next word. And the blank vowel is just here. And we will again ignore it. An-najati.
An-najati.
Very nicely read. Remember, this noon mushadda here, we have to stop here for a little bit. Okay, and this is called mushaddad noon. Okay, so you will stop here for a little bit and do the ghunna bit. Okay, an-najati.
An-najati.
Very nice. That's it. An-najati.
An-najati.
Very nice. Okay, let's carry on to the next word here. And the vowel, this vowel here is the blank vowel. Okay, and again we will just ignore it. Sa'urikum.
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 Very nice. Okay, and in this word, here we have the vowel, the blank vowel. Okay. La'usallibannakum.
La'isallabannakum.
Okay, let's split it up again. Okay. La'usalli.
La'usalli.
Bannakum.
Bannakum.
Very nice. So we stop for a little while, for about 1.5 seconds or 2 seconds on the noon again. Okay. Because this is a noon mashaddad. So we will do the ghanna for a bit and stop here for a bit. Okay. Right. Let's read out the whole word again. Okay. La'usallibannakum.
La'isallabannakum.
Okay, remember this is a kasra hai. Solli.
Salli.
That's it. La'usallibannakum.
لأصلبنكم.
Okay, and there is a dhamma on top of this alif. Okay, la'u.
لأ.
Very nicely read. Jazakumullah G1059. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, and let's carry on with Surah Al-Alaq. And I would like it if one student could read 2 verses. 1, 2, okay? And yeah, if I could have the next student to the mic, please.
G1125 has the mic.
Assalamu alaikum, G1125.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you today?
Good.
Alhamdulillah.
How are you?
I'm very well. Jazakumullah for asking. I'm very well, alhamdulillah. Okay, let's start with Ta'awuz and Tasmiyah. Okay?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Very nice. So this surah, every surah, most surahs start with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, except one of the surahs. Okay, so we have the first ayat is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Okay, and just let me quickly tell you something about this surah. It's chapter 96 of the Holy Quran, and it has 20 verses, and it's in part 30. Okay, and there is a prostration at the end of this surah, and I will at the end, I will if there is time, we will go through the prostration dua as well. Okay, so could you start reading from here, please? Let me highlight. Go on.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Very nicely read. And this verse, please.
Aqra bismi rabbikallazi khalaq.
Very nice. Okay, could you read this first bit again, please? This.
Iqra.
Very nice. So you try to do the jerk on the alif sakin here, which is very nice, and you just try to do it a bit more softly. Okay, ra.
Ra.
Okay, ra.
Ra.
Okay, that's a better try. Well done. Carry on from here again. Iqra.
Iqra bismi rabbikallazi khalaq.
Very nice. Very nicely read. So here you did round your mouth with the kha because it's a thick letter. Very nice. And you did read the qaf. This is a thick letter as well. Okay, you did read the qaf from your throat as well. Okay, now just you haven't covered it yet, but with the qaf, when you stop it, if there is a sukoon on the kaf, there is a little jerk, like here iqo, and just here laq, and you stopped it very nicely. This you applied the right rule for stopping. You said khalaq. Okay, so let me just quickly show you the rule of this. It's the first rule. Okay, when doing waqf. Okay, so if there is a fatha at the end, it will change to sukoon, right? So we have a fatha just here, and you changed it to sukoon, which is very nicely read. Khalaq. Very nice. Let's do one more verse.
Khalaqal insana min alaqi.
Okay, how do you do waqf here? Do you know how to do waqf? Meaning, how do you pause here or stop here? Okay, let me show you the rule for that. It's this rule. Whenever there is this sign here, it will be changed into a sukoon. This is a tanween, okay? And it will be changed into a sukoon, meaning you will read it alaq, okay? Just change it into a sukoon, okay? Alaq. Just one more thing. The ayn, very nice. The ayn here is read from the middle of your throat, okay? Alaq.
Alaq.
That's better. I can hear that now. And again, just a reminder, ho is a thick letter, so it will be read ho. So very nicely read. I really liked your pronunciation, and your waqf here was perfect. Just remember to do waqf here as well, okay? And with this rule, it's whenever there is a tanween, then you just put a sukoon on top of it, okay? So, Jazakumullah G1125.
Jazakallah.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, I will read these two verses and show you how to read them. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Iqra bismi rabbikal ladhi khalaq. Khalaqal insana min 'alaq. Okay, if I could have the next student for the next two lines, please.
G1084 has the mic.
Assalamu alaikum, G1084.
Walaikum salam.
How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well, and Jazakumullah for asking. Let's start with Tauz and Tasmiya.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
Very nice. Could you start from here, please?
Iqra wa rabbukal asram.
Okay. Remember, there is an alif sakin here. Do you know what we do with an alif sakin? When joining, we do a soft jerk, ro.
Yeah.
Very nice. And if you could read on here, kal.
Gal. Gal. Kalasam.
Okay. This is a kaf, just like this one. It's just written in a different way. So this is a kaf and this is a kaf. Okay. So this part will be read akro.
Akra.
Okay. How would you stop here? Do you know how to stop here? In this case, if there is a zamma, then it will change into a sukoon. And let me just quickly show you the rule for it. It's this rule. Just like here at the end, there is a zamma, and it is changed into a sukoon. And here we have a zamma. It will be changed into a sukoon, and we will read it akram. Okay, akram.
Akram.
Very nice. Okay. And could you read from here, please? One more verse.
Lazi allama bil-kalam.
Very nice. So we will start with alladhi. Okay. And do you know how this ayn is read here? Can you sound it out for me again?
Al.
That's it. I can hear the right sound of the ayn now. Very nice. And here you paused it correctly. You said lam and it was paused correctly. Let me just quickly show you the rule for everyone else. This is the rule. It has a kasra and there will be a sukoon on top of it. Just like here, there is a kasra and we will change it into a sukoon. Very nice. Just one more thing. There is this qaf. What kind of letter is it?
A heavy letter.
A thick letter. Very nice. And we have here a yamadia, which means, do you know what we do with yamadia? We the letter before, we prolong it for 2 seconds. If the letter before has a kasra, and we will prolong the letter before for 2 seconds. So alladhi, alladhi. Okay. So very nicely read. I liked the way you did the pause here. It was very correctly done. Jazakumullah G1084.
Jazakallah.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, let me read out these 2 verses again for you. Iqra wa rabbukal akram. Alladhi allama bil qalam. Okay, if I could have the next student for the next 2 lines, please.
G1042 has the mic.
Assalamu alaikum, G1042. Assalamu alaikum. G1042, Assalamu alaikum.
G1097.
Assalamu alaikum, G1097.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Okay. Let's start with Thousand Tasmiyah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Very nice. Let's start from this verse.
Alam mal'an.
There is a kasra below the alif, so it's pronounced in.
Mal'in sa na ma la lam ya lam.
Okay, very nice try. Okay, just do you know what happens if there is an alif and the letter before carries a fatah?
You pronounce it 2 seconds.
Very nice. So you did recognize it, huh? So this sa, can you sound it out again then, because there is an alif here?
Sa.
That's it. So we prolong it for 2 seconds. It's an alif madya. Okay. And again, this bit, could you pronounce it for me again, please?
Ma.
That's it. It's alif madya as well. Very nice. And this bit, could you pronounce this bit for me, please? Starting from here, from the ya, and just here, this bit.
Ya.
Remember, this is ayn. Ayn, and there is a sukoon on top of it. Okay? So,
Ya.
yeah, that's it. And I could hear the ayn sound. Very nicely read. And could you stop here? Could you just read this?
Lam.
Lam, that's it. Very nicely read. You recognized all the rules and you stopped very correctly. There is already a sukoon there, so we don't need to do anything. It's exactly the same way. We would stop it exactly the same way. Very nicely read. Could you please carry on?
Yal.
Okay, this
Yeah.
is a bit. I know it's read a bit different, but this is a kaf. This kaf exactly here. It's just
Okay.
in a different way. Okay, so it's a kaf.
Ka. Kal.
Join on to the
Ka.
lam here. With
Kal.
okay. Don't try not to prolong the kaf. Okay, just quickly
Okay.
join on to the lam because it's a lam mushaddad, isn't it? And then you can prolong the lam because there is a mad saghir here. Okay.
Okay. Kal.
Kalla.
Kala.
That's it. Okay, so the kaf is quickly joined onto the lam. Okay, and then we would prolong the lam for about 4 seconds because there is a madde saghir, the medium long stretch. Okay, so just a bit longer than the two count, about 2 to 4 seconds. Okay, kalla.
Kala.
Okay.
Kala. Innal.
That's it. Remember, there is a noon mushadda here. We would do the ghunna for 2 seconds. In just stopping for 2 seconds on it. Innal.
Innal.
That's it. Very nice.
In.
That's it.
Insana.
Okay. You did prolong the sa for a bit. I would like it if you could prolong it for a little bit longer because there is an alif, so we could distinguish it from a normal stroke. Okay.
Okay. Insana.
That's it.
La yat.
Mm-hmm.
La yat. Ka.
Very nice. So this is a ghain. Okay, and you did stop it proper, so you know that you would read it raw, but we would not prolong it for too long because we would ignore this medium long stretch, this mad saghir here. We would only read this mad saghir when we are reading in a continuation. Okay, if we're stopping, we would just ignore this bit. Okay, and we would prolong it for 2 seconds. Okay, and just one more thing, the to here is read with a little jerk. Okay, yato.
Yato.
And ra.
Ra.
Very nice. And let me just quickly show you the rule for the pause here, for the waqf.
Okay.
The rule is it's this rule. Okay, so whenever there is a letter and there is a ya, blank ya, okay, you would just prolong it for 2 seconds and just read it as it is, but prolong it for 2 seconds. Okay, now
I got a question.
Go on. Yeah.
If there's a too long stretch and it has a line on top of it, what will you pronounce it for, like
double the amount of
seconds?
time? Okay, I think I know what you're saying. You're saying that, for example, if we would read this in continuation, would we read the 2 seconds of this stroke and the 4 seconds of this stroke? So in this case, you would just read how you would just read the medium stretch, the medium long stretch here. This mad saghir, when you would be reading on, just like here. If there would be a vertical fatah here and a mad saghir, then just read it for 4 seconds. Excuse me, for 4 seconds. Okay,
Okay.
So don't add them. Just use the one which is on the top. If it would be a mad kabir, then you would read it for 4 to 6 seconds. The bigger mad, okay, the bigger and the bolder mad, which is for 4 to 6 seconds. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Great.
Thank you.
Jazakumullah, it was very nicely read, G1097. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, let me read these verses for you again. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Allamal insana ma lam ya'lam. Kalla innal insana la yatgha. Okay, if I could have the next student for the next 2 lines, please.
G1099 has the mic.
Assalamu alaikum, G1099.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. And jazakumullah for asking. Let's start with Thousand Tasmiyah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Very nice. Could you start reading from here, please?
الرآه استغنى.
Very nice. So you did the idgham kamil here. I just quickly want to show you the idgham kamil here, what it means. So we did assimilation, which is idgham, and it says that, let me just go to the proper, right. So it says that whenever there is a ra mushaddad and before that there is a noon sakin, then you would not read the noon. Okay, just here we would just read the mirra. Okay, not reading the noon, ra mushaddad and noon sakin before that, then you would do idgham, meaning you would not read the noon. Just here you did it correctly. We have the ra mushaddad here and the noon sakin, and you did not read the noon. Very nicely done. And you stopped here correctly as well. Let me just remind you of the rule again. It's the same rule as before. It's this, a blank ya and a vertical fatah, and it will be read exactly as it is. Just here, and you did the correct stopping here as well. So could you carry on with this verse, please?
Inna ila rabbika ruj'a.
Very nicely read. Just you did prolong it for 2 seconds. That was very nicely read. And again here you prolonged it for 2 seconds. You did recognize the vertical fathahs. Very nicely read. And I would like it if you could prolong the noon here for just a bit longer, because it's a noon mushaddad. It would be done, there would be a ghunna for about 2 seconds. Inna.
Okay. Inna.
Very nice. And you did stop correctly here as well. You did apply the correct rule. It is exactly the same rule as here. Just rule 10, if there is a blank ya and the letter before that carries a vertical fatah, it will be read exactly the same way as it is. Very nicely read. I'm very pleased. Jazakumullah G1099.
Thank you.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, I will read these verses again. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Ar-ra'ahu istaghna. Inna ila rabbika ruj'a. Okay, if I could have the next student for the next 2 verses, please.
G1100 has the mic.
Assalamu alaikum, G1100.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. And Jazakumullah for asking. Let's start with Tauz and Tasmiyah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
Very nice. Could you start reading from here, please?
أرأيت الذي ينهى عبدا إذا صلى.
That's it. Very nice. Okay. Just one more thing. You did stop. Actually, you did stop correctly here, and you did stop correctly here as well. Okay. This ya carries a sukoon. Okay, and whenever there is a sukoon on the ya and the letter before has a fatha, it will be prolonged for a bit. Okay. Ara'aita. Okay. Very nice. So it's called Madleen, and this ya here again carries a sukoon, and the letter before has a kasra, and it's called ya madya. Okay, and it will be prolonged again for 2 seconds. Could you read it for me? This bit. That's it. Very nice. And if you could start reading from here, please.
Abdan iza salla.
That's it. Very nicely read. So you did prolong the za for 2 seconds, which means there is an alif madya here, and you did recognize this, and you stopped here correctly. Very nicely read. Let me just quickly show you, all of you, the rule for stopping on this ayat here. Okay, so it's exactly the same rule as here. Let me just remind you again. Okay, so whenever there is a vertical fatha and a ya which is not labeled, it's a blank ya, then you would just read it as it is.
Okay.
And you did that. You read ha here, and you did solla here. You read it exactly as it is, because we have a blank ya here and we have blank ya here. Very nicely read. I'm very pleased. Jazakumullah G1100.
Can I just ask you?
Yes.
When it says yanha, do you have to stop there or like carry on? Because there's alarm.
You can.
So then.
Exactly. That's a very good question. It's up to you actually, because on this stop sign here, on this ayat, there is a lam with an alif, which means la. Okay. So it says it would be better if you could carry on reading as you did before the first time, and it's okay if you stop here as well. Okay, these are very short verses. Okay, you can, if you want, you can carry on reading from here to up to here. Okay, so whenever there is an la on top of a stop sign, an ayat here, you can, if you want, you can carry on reading, would be better. But if you think you need to stop, you can stop. Okay, just for example, on this ayat here, there is a to, so it would be better if you stop here. It would actually be you should actually be stopping here. Okay, so again, there is a la here. If you would want to carry on reading, then you can. In tilawat, you normally start reading in one and not try to breathe, in one breath. You start to read in one breath, and if you think that you start here and you can't, you need to do another breath, then you can just stop here. Otherwise, you can just carry on reading up to here. Okay, does that answer your question?
Yes.
Very nicely read. Jazakumullah.
Jazakallah. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, let me read these two ayats for you. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أرأيت الذي ينهى عبدا إذا صلى. Okay, if I could have the next student for the next 2 ayats, please.
G1001 has the mic.
Assalamu alaikum, G110.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, G1001. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well, and Jazakumullah for asking. Let's start with Thousand Tasmiyah today.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Very nice. If you could start reading from here, please.
أرأيت إن كان على الهدى.
Very nicely read. So you did recognize the ya sakin here, and you prolonged the hamza for 2 seconds. Very nicely read. And do you know that there is an alif after the kaf?
Yes.
So you need to prolong it for how long? 2 seconds. Again. So it's an alif madya. You will prolong it for 2 seconds, and you stopped here correctly as well. So there is a blank ya, and before that there is a vertical fatha. So you would just prolong it for 2 seconds, and we would not prolong it for 4 seconds because we're stopping. So we will be ignoring this madde saghir here. Very nice read. And if you could read one more verse, please.
أو أمر بالتقوى.
Very nicely read. Do you know that what it means if there is a sakoon on the vowel and the previous letter has a fatha?
Yes.
What do you have to do? Do you remember?
You have to forget the vowel, I think.
You have to. It's not a blank vowel because the vowel carries a sakoon here. Okay, so if there would be no sakoon, you can forget the vowel. You can just ignore it. But this vowel has a sakoon, so you would be prolonging the alif for 2 seconds when joining onto it. Okay, ow.
Ow.
Very nice. So and you stopped it correctly, exactly the same way as you did here. It's the same rule. You prolong the vowel for 2 seconds because it carries a vertical fatha and there is a blank ya here. Let me just show you all the rule again. If there is a vertical fatha which is followed by a blank ya, you will read it exactly as it is when stopping. Okay, Jazakumullah. It was very nicely read. G1001. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay.
And also, can my brother have a turn?
Okay. Let me quickly read these 2 verses, and then the support teacher can call out your brother as well. Okay.
Okay.
What is his ID? Okay. Let me read these 2 verses. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أرأيت إن كان على الهدى أو أمر بالتقوى. Okay. If I could have the next student to the mic, please.
G1002.
Assalamu alaikum, G1002.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. Did your sister read just before you?
Yeah.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm Alhamdulillah. I'm very well. How are you?
Good.
Good. Alhamdulillah. Okay. Let's start with 1000 tasmiyah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Very nice. If you could start from here, please.
أرأيت إن كذب وتولى.
Very nice. You stop correctly here. Okay. And could you just show me how you pronounce this?
Qazza.
Okay. So do you know that dal is pronounced softly? it's pronounced when you touch your tongue to your upper teeth. Okay, the.
Za.
Yes, that's better. Very nice. Kaza.
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 Okay, it's a lot better now. Very nice. Let's carry on to the next verse. Just 1 second. Okay, so the next verse starts from here.
Alam ya'lam bi anna Allah yara.
Very nice. Okay, so you stopped correctly. Okay, just with the noon mushaddad here, make sure to stop here, do the gunna for 2 seconds. Okay, and
Bi anna.
that's it. Bi anna, that's it. And then you prolonged the lam here for 2 seconds, which was very nicely read. And just with the ayn, could you read this bit here?
Ya'lam.
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 That's better. Very nice. And you stopped here. Let me just again show you the rule. It's rule number 10 here. Vertical fatha and blank ya. So it will be read exactly the way it was before. Jazakumullah, it was read very nicely. Allah Hafiz G1 002.
Hafiz.
Hafiz. Let me read. I will now read these 2 verses again. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أرأيت إن كذب وتولى ألم يعلم بأن الله يرى. Okay, if I could have the next student to the mic, please.
G1004 has the mic.
Assalamu alaikum G1004.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
मैं ठीक हूँ, आप कैसी हैं?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. Jazakumullah for asking. Okay, now if you could start reading from here, but start with Tawaz and Tasmiyah first, okay?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله لئن لم ينتهي لنسفعا بالناصية.
Very nice. Okay, so you correctly stopped here. You read yah. Let me show you the rule, and it was stopped correctly. The rule is just here. Whenever there is a tal marbuta, okay, it will anything on top of it will be changed on to a sakoon sign, and the ta will be changed into the ha. Okay, ha sakoon. Okay, ha and sakoon. So you read yah, which was correctly yah. Very nicely read. Okay, now here you did idgham. Very nicely done. You read illam. You did not read inlam because you know that you have to do idgham here, idgham kamil, which means whenever there is a shadda on the lam and there is a noon sakin before that, then you would not read the noon sakin. You would just completely ignore it and just read illam. Illam. Very nicely read. Okay. Now we have 1 more second. We have mi makbula here. Okay. So remember, this will be read okay, and you would prolong it for 2 seconds. Okay, so it's not an, there is a little meme, so the nasal sound will be changed into the meme sound. Okay, okay. So, very nice. And you will prolong it for 2 seconds. Okay, and there is a alif here, and you will prolong the kalla for 2 seconds as well. Kalla. Okay. Now, if you could carry on to this and read this verse, please.
Nasiyatin kaziyatin khati'ah.
Very nice. You stopped correctly here. And this is a ba. The ba. Okay. Just here, starting from the beginning, let's you did prolong it for 2 seconds, which is very nice. This is an alif madya, and you prolong the na for 2 seconds. Very nicely read. And the kaf you prolong for 2 seconds as well. So you recognize the alif madya, both of them. And the kha, I want you to read the kha for me, please. Here.
Kha.
Round your mouth when you're reading it, because it's a thick letter. Okay. Very nice. And there is an alif here, so you would read it for 2 seconds, prolong it for 2 seconds. That's it. Very nice. And as I said, you stopped it correctly. Again, the same rule as here. Let me just pull up the rules. Whenever there is a ta al marbuta, it is changed into ta with the sukoon. Okay. So very nicely read, G1004. Allah Hafiz. Okay, I will read these 2 verses again. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Kalla la illam yantahi lanasfa'am bin nasiyah. Nasiyatin kadhibatin khati'ah. Okay, so I will now go through your homework, and we can read out dua, and it's nearly time to finish the class now. So your homework will be practice 22.6, what we did today, just this. And practice Surah Al-Alaq, which we were doing today, and as much as you can, okay? So it's exactly what we were doing today. If I could have one student to the mic for the dua, please.
G1006 has the mic.
Assalamu alaikum, G1006. Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
I'm fine, Kasia.
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. And Jazakumullah for asking. Let's start with Tawaz and Tasmiyah.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
Very nice. I will read and you can follow me. Allahumma.
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 Hamni.
Hamni.
Bil-Qur'anil.
Bil-Qur'anil.
Azim.
Azim.
Very nice. Could you read the translation here, please?
O Allah, have mercy on me throughout the Quran the Great.
Very nicely read. Jazakumullah G1006. Allah Hafiz. Allah Hafiz. And this brings us to the end of the class today. Jazakumullah for attending. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.